Yeah. So is this your first live event? This is the first one you've done?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is. Fortunately, it isn't for the team. It's actually the old production team of AW. So they scaled up the conference from like, I don't know, 2,000 attendees to where it is today. But everyone left. A lot of like the C-suite, all the C-suite left,
Mhm.
and and like a bunch came over actually, and it's actually like I never poked anyone. They actually came when they saw my public complaints back in September, August, when I was like not happy with AW,
Yeah.
and I didn't think that was like, oh no. And then when basically people started telling me like run your own show, I was like, me, I'm an affiliate. I need to focus on my VSL YouTube stuff and live my life and do my YouTube videos. And then actually it sounded like a great idea, especially when the team came forward. I was like, oh, actually, then I can make it, yeah, because then I have a team of tacticians and people that have done it before. So then the confidence went up, and then hey, here we are. And we actually pulled the trigger. We met. It was a vibe. I mean, we already knew each other
Mhm.
uh, so throughout the years, right? And yeah, it's been great. So it's been an exciting journey to like see this come together. Um, has its challenges, but honestly, like I'm so confident that it will go well, and that I don't worry as much, and I mainly enjoy it, and I know that it's a long play, and I do what I believe is the right thing. And I was mentioned before we started, which is like I don't know. Sometimes you know you need to kind of be the judge of what's ethical and what isn't, and so I had some interesting conversations with people that got denied to attend or to exhibit.
Wow.
Uh, but it's part of it's part of the job, and well, yeah, it's yes, I would say that's like the tricky part, but it's
Yeah.
not easy because I think everyone uh, has enough conscience to understand what's ethical and what isn't, and people that fight that are usually the ones that are doing unethical things, and yeah, it's actually funny to me too, deal with these people.
So let's step back in time because I mean I think I saw you at Affiliate World Dubai maybe like 2 years ago. Is that when Dubai two? And then so walk me through so where things were for you then, and then how this idea to I mean I never put on a conference, but our team we did one live event that was pretty small. And man, it's a lot of work. And so I can only imagine it's not like you just snap your fingers and this thing happens. So this is a big commitment. This is a big commitment. I know your commitment to quality is super high. So I'm just curious, your process for how you came up with this idea, like what spawned this idea, why you think it's so important, and what you're hoping this event's going to bring people.
Yeah, so 3, 4 years ago, I actually almost 4 years ago, I found out about a tool named Miro.com. And basically, it's like a tool that allows you to build synergy maps. And I watched a video about the synergy map of Disney and how they like the Disneyfication of their business. Basically, it was a video that I found that was talking about that, and essentially like how there's so many synergies across different businesses that they have. It started from media and all the movies to Disneyland to merchandising to licensing to whatever. And I found it so cool. And I was like, what do I want to do in life? And I had a good thing going. And I still have because I run probably the most viewed BSLs and YouTube's history. And I'm still successfully running like Gundry and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, but that's not it, no? Like, I mean, what's the next thing to do? So I started considering doing like courses and YouTube and build out that community, now that you bring people together. So eventually, once I wrote that, I like to write on mirrors, actually, like here. I like things written all over the place. And I wrote down that I eventually would like to do a conference.
Mhm.
And the idea started like being a bit more real when I went to the last no 2 years ago. I went to Bangkok, and I heard that management changed and people were unhappy, and I kind of saw the direction I was going into. I was like, I think at one point these people that I really love will come to work, and we will build something together. But one thing is writing it down, then actually making it happen. So that idea got like stored and was almost forgotten until I started complaining about things publicly that, like I want to go into a conference and make business. And, uh, there's different sports now in life that you can play. Like there's basketball and football. I like football. Some other people play basketball. Same with conferences. AW stopped being the type of conference that was useful to me, because it just became gaming, crypto, more black hat stuff and stuff that, yeah, maybe can make you a lot of money, but I don't feel like it's something right to promote. And that's me, like you do you. So I started speaking up, and I think also I mean, a lot of things are just unlawful or unethical. And my face is used to sell tickets because if you're in a space, you probably saw my face for a long period of time, because I was one of the top performing ads for AW, or they put me on the website to sell tickets. So then I started not being okay with it anymore because like I fell in love with the AW brand because it changed my life. But then what it became, it's just not okay. So I spoke up also for that reason. It's not just because I wanted beef for no reason. Like they're using my face. I love the brand. It starts being useless to me. It starts being very unlawful, in my opinion. And yeah, so took a stance, got a lot of feedback, a lot of supportive feedback, and then a lot of people told me you should do your own show. I was like, never gonna do it. I mean, not never, but like, why would I? Team came forward. I was like, okay, now there's actually a support system to do it besides the community that is asking for it. So then you combine the two. You have the community telling you it's the right idea. You believe it's the right thing to do. Um, there is a gap in the industry because every relevant conference is private equity owned. So Affiliate Summit got sold, Traffic and Conversion got shut down. LeadsCon is private equity owned, and I heard that the last show was like business managed. And AW is just caring about profits from all the behaviors that we've seen. So feels like the right idea at the right time with the right people, and people already love the idea before it even exists. Okay, let's do it. No. So then I had this, I remember feeling like, like that something is gonna happen, but you don't know what, and you're gonna get blasted. I had that feeling. And usually when I had that feeling, actually things happen. And then one day I realized I don't know, like I didn't know what it was gonna be. And then I figured that this conference idea might be that great thing that was supposed to happen. And then I couldn't sleep and I just kept thinking about it. I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. So that was a big decision. And then, as you said, when you do events, there's so much that goes into it, so many details, and there's so much work behind 2 days of conference. So it's been a very interesting process for me to go through. I never worked with a large team. I mean, I did in the past, but this time it just feels like the first time because it's probably the first time I fell in love with the team, and it's been nothing but great. And the excitement is very big for 9th and 10th of July in Barcelona.
Nice. Less than a month. Crazy. It's good stuff. So what do you think? What are people going to take away from this event? What do you like? What's your dream for what people are going to take away from going to this event?
My goal is simple. Have more white hat offers for
Mhm,
affiliates and have more affiliates run white hat stuff.
mhm,
Because great things can be born through that because real businesses can be built. You can openly talk about it. When you openly talk about things, you just attract more. You can actually work with like super solid brands, and affiliates can start making money in a much better way. And I've been blessed with, the golden hippos. And I think it's very privileged because not everyone gets to work with such amazing company. But that's also because the environment doesn't necessarily promote the creation of such amazing companies. No, these
mhm.
everyone's like trying to trick people into buying as quick as possible and then not do anything with it. And I think affiliate is an amazing, super fair business model that has a stigma and is attached to like I don't know, shady practices. And I think it's a shame because I'm an affiliate and I run in a very clean way, amazing products that people keep buying. So I think there's a room for everyone to be able to run these brands. And there's so many amazing ecom brands. But every time an ecom brand goes to a show like, I don't know, Affiliate World, and they see how much dirt there is in there, they're like turned off by the idea of even considering working with affiliates. While they come to Affiliate Takeover, they see that there is actually good stuff happening. And that's my intent with the show. Like retaining good e-commerce brands, opening them up to the possibility to work with affiliates. And honestly, every e-commerce should work with affiliates, in my opinion, because there's so many brands that crack Facebook, but they didn't crack YouTube or Snapchat or AdLogin or you name it. So if you're hitting $100 cost per acquisition on Facebook, wouldn't you be happy in paying $120 per sale on Snapchat and have another traffic source being cracked by a media buyer that sends you for approval every single ad before running it, and you just you get paid to acquire customers as a brand because you work with an affiliate? I mean, it sounds like a no-brainer, and
Yeah.
it is a no-brainer. A lot of e-commerce people that don't know about affiliate, they heard about it. Every time I educate them about it, I was like, "Oh, that sounds great. Why are we not using it?" I was like, "That's a great question." So I
Mhm.
feel like affiliate takeover is that environment where you can learn about affiliate and you get exposed to good affiliates and good brands, and magic happens, when you put the right people under the same roof.
Absolutely. So interesting. So, I mean, do you think there's any have you ever found it successful or heard it being successful to pitch running as an affiliate directly to brands? Like, let's say there's an amazing e-commerce offer. Have you ever found success with that or heard success with that?
Yeah, so I feel like if you're an affiliate and you're educating brands, it's an extra job, but it
Mhm.
can definitely be done. And like a seasoned affiliate that knows what a brand needs and knows what he needs as an affiliate can do a good job. At the same time, there are many networks, and that's the exact their focus. So we have people like Digistore coming or companies like Yep.
Yep.
So if they get exposed to better brands, they do their own job and they just offer these better offers to their affiliates. So it's
Absolutely.
like building the right ecosystem for that to exist. So yes, I feel like as an affiliate, it can be very beneficial to go direct if you know what you're doing and if you want to deal with certain aspects of what it takes to make it work. Um, can be pretty straightforward. It also depends who you work with. Some companies are more open, some less. I'm facing these the situations when I work with new brands because I usually don't work with networks
Mhm.
just because I don't know, word of mouth gets me good with companies. But I always have to have that conversation. It's like, hey, this is how you should look at things. And we will only make it work if it works for you and it works for me. So when we're talking about payouts, I'm not even like desperate to get a high payout because I'm like, listen, if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for me. If it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work for you. So we'll learn to meet in the middle. And if we don't, and if it just doesn't work out, then well, we gave it a fair try and wish good luck. And
Mhm.
so that's to be expected.
So you think so this sounds like this event specifically is really not just for, affiliates on the people who have traffic, but also ideally it'd be for anyone running any kind of D2C offer, period.
Yeah.
Say like CMOs, et cetera, who wanna quickly add additional traffic sources to the mix. So they're not just relying on, say, Facebook or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as much as I love all the kind of soft promo we're doing for ATO, I don't want to make it entirely about ATO. This whole
No, no, no. I'm just, but I
but
mean, like,
yes, the answer to that is yes,
yeah.
because um, I feel it is the buzzword. But what it
Mm.
truly does is it attracts the best media buyers on planet Earth.
Yep.
It's deal with their they deal with the consequences of their own actions on a
Mhm.
basis. An agency, sort of, but they have different incentives, like fixed retainers, percentage on ad spends. So they get the benefits even if they don't produce to some extent, right?
Mhm.
On an affiliate, there is no upside, like zero upside, even if he ran a brand for a short time and didn't make it work, because you will make a loss. An agency will still make not much profit, but it will not lose. It will make
Mhm.
some profit. So affiliates therefore usually tend to be the best media buyers on planet Earth because of the same reason.
Mhm.
So, as an e-commerce brand that wants to crack new channels or wants to improve their current channels, I think giving a shot to an affiliate is an excellent idea if you know what you're
Mhm.
doing. If you're
Mhm.
putting it on a network where thousands of affiliates can start running traffic tomorrow, that's probably not a good idea because you will encounter with a lot of BS just because the entry barrier is zero. But if you put rules in place and you handpick a few affiliates, or you work with affiliate networks that only open up, then you offer the new brand to selected affiliates, that can be a very great idea. That can be a super smart idea because I don't have to internally hire and manage people to crack a new traffic source, and on top of that, finance that because I can have an affiliate try to do that for me. But if I want to be like a good brand, like I build a good relationship as an e-commerce brand, I would probably offer some testing budget. I would probably offer my best creatives so that this other affiliate can have the best initial chances to actually crack this new platform. So I
How do
think,
you Mhm.
yeah.
That's really interesting. How do you approach typically when you're going to set up these one-off, like, custom direct, arrangements? How do you handle attribution?
Well, attribution. Well, attribution is a big, that's a big topic, and the fair way would be that, uh, you know, if you are the first, um, if you're responsible for the first interaction to the brand, that if then a user Googles the products like 3 days later and ends up buying for a search ad, that sales gets attributes to you. That doesn't always happen because a lot of companies don't even have the technology ready to go, or they can't measure it. But they can kind of bake it back into your commission because they end up realizing like, okay, yeah, we can actually what we see on your traffic on direct sales, this is what you're generating, but we can see like a halo effect across the board. We can probably push that payout more. And again, I think it always comes down to like what works for you as an affiliate and what works for them as a brand, what they can afford paying. So I think it might, if you don't have the right technology or solution for attribution, uh, if you're with the right intentions and to have a more scale, you will end up paying more because you see the benefits of it. To the technical aspect of that, I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. For example, I know GiddyUp solved this issue because they told me, because I know for sure. And also the affiliates that we sent to GiddyUp, they told me the same thing, that they're able to attribute the sales rightfully to each affiliate. So even if then the users went and bought from, and through other channels or researching or going, afterwards, somehow they could still the sales attributed back to them. And I don't have the technical answer.
Mhm.
So I'm usually not so technical anyway. So I don't want to talk about stuff that I know. But yeah.
Well, let's go back in time. So, how did you get into all this? So, I know we've talked before about this, but I just want to refresh everyone's memory. How is you got started young in this game? You could say, for I mean, young relative to a lot of people, and yeah, I mean, I know you have an interesting backstory before that too. Like, where does Alex? Where's your origin story here? How'd you end up where you're at now?
Okay, so in 1997, no, I was lonely on the internet. I was 12.
Yeah.
I was more arrogant than now, and I was kind of like I had friends, but usually I would be by myself because of that. So I stumbled on Facebook pages, and my big passion was or is Cristiano Ronaldo. So I started making pages about him, collecting followers that were interested about him, and I found over the years ways to go from 100 followers to a 1,000 to then 10,000, and then 4 years after I had like millions and millions of followers, which translated meant millions of people being reached every single week for absolutely free. So at some point, I started understanding that I could make money off that because someone told me that I was doing marketing because I was getting paid for exposure or to sell things. So then you just start climbing the ladder. It's like, okay, if you have traffic and someone is paying you for it, it's probably because they make more money by paying you, right? I mean, if they pay you $10, you must at least make 11. Otherwise, why would they give you the first $10?
Mhm.
So then, like, you go to the next step. Back then, I was promoting websites. So why do the website pay me? It's because they have ads running on it. So they have their RPM. So if they pay me $10 for every 1,000 visitors, they must at least make 12 or even 15 or maybe even more. And then you climb up the next step. Okay, let me host my own website so I keep more margin and I make more money. And then, okay, but then the next logical steps kicks in already. It was like, as a website owner with Google AdSense, why do you make money? It's because people are running ads. And why are they paying you for your website traffic? It's because they're selling. And then I found out about affiliate marketing is because they're selling products and they're placing advertisements. And if they're spending money on ads, it's probably because they generate even more revenue. So then, bam, 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 I found out about affiliate marketing. That was one of the things being used to run ads as a business model. I had friends that were doing it that came from the Facebook page world and went into paid traffic. So I remember this post in 2015 about 3 Italian guys that were like the top dogs in the Facebook page marketing world in Italy that went to affiliate summits, and they posted a picture saying that they're internet millionaires. And I was like, how? And then I dug into affiliate summit and what it is. And then I went there a year later and my mind was blown.
Wow.
Then you start seeing people making $10,000 a day in profits and you're like, holy fuck, and that's a good thing to jump into. And yeah, that's what I did.
So what was the first offer that you promoted as an affiliate?
What was the first offer? I started with adult.
I mean, there's some strong connections to other stuff you said in that, but I'll leave it unsaid for now. But that's how a lot of people get their start. So yeah, that's cool.
No, I started with adult because like I had a friend that did that, and I did it for like 3-4 months, and those were the weirdest 3-4 months of my life.
Yeah.
So I was buying traffic on like Traffic Junkie or X,
Yeah.
are like the biggest up networks in the porn industry. And yeah, not really proud of those months, but it did get me exposed to paying for traffic, and that was interesting. And then I went over to Facebook ads, and yeah, that's where I stayed for like a long time.
So so you what was it like to spend your first dollar or first euros on ads? You know?
I mean, it was weird because you're like, I mean, fortunately, I had made a lot of significant money, especially for my age, and I had a good starting capital from the Facebook page area. So I was like, okay, I was sort of getting familiar with the concept of like you need to spend to make more, and it's
Yeah.
okay to lose at first. So there was not too much fear, but obviously it wasn't nice when you spend like $1,000 and you make $3 back. I think that's what it was. Like, I think I spent almost $1,000 before I made my first conversion.
Wow.
But there was one thing that I told myself. I mean, I made an invisible contract with myself saying that I'm gonna be doing affiliates until it works. So I had to skate. So I would say I didn't. How was it like to start spending money? It was more like there's no way out of this. So I either make it work or I make it work. And I think that was a very good decision.
And then what do you remember the first VSLs? I mean, I know you do a lot of stuff on the creative side too. I'm just wondering.
Yes. The VSL is like 5-6 years after this. I can know what it meant.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I did affiliate, then I went into e-commerce, and I had my own products, and I had fulfillment centers all around the world, and was generating a lot of revenue, but not many profits, not much in profits. And then I had my buddy Robs, who became my partner after that, who was running VSLs on Taboola. So it was running like native ads, an advertorial, and then a VSL page. So that was the first time I heard about this. That was like, I think 2018, 2019. And I saw him generating $100,000 in one day. And that was just
Wow.
like record day. And his average was like $20,000, $30,000 a day. So it was so good. But like one day he did like 100K. I was like, wow, I've never seen that. So I made it my goal to help him double that. But I didn't know how yet. So then eventually I found out that we could run stuff on YouTube. So we tried to run GDN. So use like his native ads on GDN and try to send them to the same advertorials and then the same VSL page. That was 2019. So after we burned probably like $30,000 to $40,000, um, even in video, we were running like short videos to a VSL page that also wouldn't work. We would just,
Mhm.
so we tried YouTube, but then at some point we were giving the idea to like, why don't we just run the VSL as an ad itself?
Mhm.
And this was like early 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
And that's where we started seeing like tremendous scale right away. And yeah, it didn't feel real. I mean, there was a combination of COVID kicking in, finding the new format that works, but also questioning it's actually if that's gonna last or it's just a COVID lockdown thing that is boosting everything up. So then it's not really your talent. It's just like what it is. Like it's just the period of where we live in. But those, it, but that DSL stuck, and then we started understanding that um, you know what what it means to actually fatigue a VSL. Like before, we were running ads, and it was obvious, like the ad dies down. But when you're running a VSL ad, what is actually dying down? The whole VSL? No, the first part. So then we became masters at reinventing hooks, reinventing the first minute. And I'm not even kidding. I'm running the same offer after 5 years,
Mm.
still the same product.
Mhm.
And we did, now it's on time of recording is June 18th. It was Saturday and Sunday. We did $100,000 in revenue combined,
Wow.
like during the weekend, and we did $30,000 to $40,000 profit. And in the funnel, we still have the same VSL.
Wow. Wow.
So
Wow. That's crazy. What,
yeah.
what, well, I have to ask you some tactical questions on that. What, so in these 5 years, 5+ years that you've been really deep in the VSL space. So what are how do you think about that first minute in terms of, for your first tests? What kind of frameworks are you looking at? Like, I'm just curious how you really think about that first minute of a VSL as an ad.
Well, I think it's a great way to pitch a product. Like what you're actually doing is like you're capturing attention and you're like transforming it into sales. So I think video in general are great. So yeah, we call it VSL, but essentially what you're doing is y- you're presenting a pitch in the most fashionable way possible. So it doesn't matter where this pitch comes in as long as it happens. So a lot of people are focused like, oh, should I run it as an ad? Should I be on the PSL page? It doesn't really matter because what we found out is that, I mean, we all know that VSL as a standalone ad, they don't tend to work as much anymore on YouTube. They do work on connected TV
Mm.
because the penalty doesn't seem to apply uh, on connected TV. But so what we were forced to do is to find new ways to actually reuse this VSL. So then you start making like short ads, point into a quiz funnel that then point to a VSL page. So the VSL still works. It's just like when do people get to see it? And job as a media buyer or as a creator is then to find ways to then make that happen. Um, we did a bunch of in-app. Um, I wish we said we could have scaled, but sorry, I wish we said that we scaled that, but yeah, we did have some $20,000, $30,000 days, but the performance didn't stick, so we still didn't crack it. But it was still interesting to see that we could generate millions of dollars in revenue, even on in-app with the VSL down the funnel. So it was a short ad, quiz, then a VSL page. So for me, I don't know, it just became the essence of the business. So
Mhm.
every time there's a new brand that comes in, and I look at their assets and I look at their offer, and I'm like, you should actually like consider this video pitch, like, and
Mm.
actually create and craft it with VSL. And mind that when I started VSLs, running VSLs, I didn't make a VSL because it was given to me. So then in these 5 years, half a decade, I was actually um, exposed so much to it, and I was able to practice and train that muscle that now I think it became one of my strongest assets that I have because
Mhm.
I know how it should be done, and yeah, and I think nowadays the biggest skill that you can have is to actually be able to be good at video creation. Doesn't matter what business you're in. If you're on YouTube, you need to be able to create good YouTube videos and VSLs for your audience. For Instagram, you need to be good at creating short form videos that go viral and attract audience. So, and as a business, media buying is relatively important, but the media buying job as itself is sort of dying. The platforms are so good at it that as a business, all I want to be doing is video. Without the video skills that I developed, I wouldn't be able to do a conference because I mean, I don't have a million followers. I have 30,000 followers and 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, but they're all affiliate. And that has enabled to, get some sort of penetration in the industry and develop many amazing relationships through that. And that comes through video. All the revenue that I've generated for companies comes through video skills. And so my main focus is just like, how can I produce better videos every single day for whatever it is, for short form, for YouTube, to work with better video makers, to find better editors for the DSLs and whatnot. So that
Mm.
became my focus.
How do you think about the video in terms of selling, let's say, like, obviously you talked about Gundry, and already had a lot of success with Gundry, but something different, like, let's say, like an e-commerce product in the, sub $100 front end price point range. How do you think about video in that respect, like video sales letter versus like long form supplement?
Yeah, so I mean, products that solve real problems usually require a VSL. Like, you're explaining what you're trying to solve, you go into the pinpoints and whatnot. But like an e-commerce around fashion doesn't require a VSL because those are visual products that don't require selling. If you like it, you like. I bought some chains 2 days ago because I just saw a picture and I liked it. I don't need a VSL that pitches me why this chain is so great and make it for minutes. So it's not always required. Um, in terms of videos, yes, you can make fantastic videos about chains, and I think that's exactly what captured my attention. So, like recently I was in Bali and I was wearing my chains, and one in particular was heating up a lot, and that was burning my skin, while another one won't do that. So then I watched a video about the brand is Crafted. They're pretty popular, and they made a quick video which looked aesthetically pleasing of this good-looking guy jumping in a pool. And one of the messages in the video was that they're heat proof, and that
Mm,
thought, because I'm like, oh, that's one of those pain points. So you can keep it very short. For
mhm,
chains, there's not much to say, but you can say they last for long. If they're silver, they're not gonna get brown.
mhm,
Sorry, black. They're heat proof, and I don't know, like a few things, a few benefits, you're highlighting the quality of it. You don't need to do much.
mhm,
It would be pointless to do a 30-minute VSL about how, like, what went into the production. You could do it for the sake of like brand building,
mhm,
styling.
mhm,
Go in news break, you put a image about or chain, it's gonna sell. You don't need a VSL page for that.
how do you stay current on ideas to test in different spaces, and just, what inspires you to try new hooks, try new formats? Just curious, like, how you approach that.
I think that's the course to answer. So first, how do you stay up to the trends, etc. I think like it's curiosity, right? And with what I'm doing, especially like the public work, let's say, I'm just naturally getting exposed to everything. Like in coaching roles, I get to know what people are doing, and I'm able to help them. But I'm doing osmosis with their information. With the YouTube stuff, people reach out and they offer me things or they ask me questions about their businesses, and they're all very open. Imagine with the conference, I mean, I'm getting exposed to every single company that is involved. So I get to know what works, or like when we talk about the speeches and the topics of these speeches of the speakers, I'm exposed to everything. So the antenna is there and I'm receptive to it. And moreover, I'm curious. So
Mhm,
I hear and I'm interested and I'm keen to learn. The hooks creation, I think that's an interesting one because I think that's very relevant to a lot of people also watching because, I mean, you build a business around ads and how to help people make better ads by spying and getting to know what others are doing. For example, I don't like to copy as much because I work with great offers. So I don't have the fear to be copied as much. While, for example, if you're a very competitive space, or you're running public available offers, that's something that you need to fight, slash, that's something you need to just continuously do. Like you continuously rip other people's ads because that happens to you anyways. So it's kind of like people are chasing each other, no? So I don't necessarily need to do that. And I also don't like to look at what other people do because I like to just focus and stay in my zone and think of um, what can capture attention. So I play around with anything I can find. I brainstorm by myself. I use maybe AI to help me brainstorm and find some inspirations. Or maybe if I'm scrolling YouTube or on my phone, maybe I see a hook for a TikTok video about something completely different. But then I take that inspiration and I tweak it into my offer. So yeah, I don't like to copy. I like to create, and in order to create, I like to be inspired, and I like to that's why I don't like to look what other people are doing necessarily too much because that would limit my ideas to what I see out there. While if I like just stay in my zone, I have endless opportunities. I see endless options,
Mhm.
and I'm not tempted too much by copying someone else because if they're already running it and you're copying it, you're already one step behind. So that has been proven over the 5 years that it's a very profitable habit and attitude to have towards ad creation
Mhm.
because it forces me to stay and it forces me to create and not copy. And a creator will always beat a copycat.
That's interesting. Yeah, makes sense. You're on the cutting edge. How do you think about you're generating all these different hooks, right? These different creatives. How do you think about evaluating success? Like knowing what to pause, what to scale? I'm just curious how you think about that and giving enough traffic to make sure there's actually enough data to make a decision with.
Yeah, so data is interesting because we're using tracking tools, and sometimes those tracking tools don't reflect the sales that we actually see, for example, on Google. Um, because of um, the backend that our partners use, we don't have a smart tracking way to be 100% precise on the sales front. So that's one of the things we need to account. Um, but we spend easily like a few $1,000s on an ad. And sometimes an ad that is a loser in the first 48 hours, 72 hours becomes a winner later.
Mm.
So it's very subjective and it's not an easy answer, to be honest.
Mhm.
For one thing that we for sure don't do is if, for example, if we're getting paid $150 per sale, we're not going to spend $500 and turn it off.
Yeah.
$500. We will spend at least $1,000 to $2,000 before making any type of decision. So if we see that it's sort of break even, we continue spending. And sometimes break even ads last $20,000, $30,000 in break even, and then they start making profits. But if we spend $2,000 and they generate zero, obviously we turn it off.
Mhm.
But I think it's a very subjective way. But usually it's very simple. If it makes profit, you continue spending on it. If you're just losing a lot of money,
Mhm.
not a good idea. And also, it's always important to test very different things in your ads. So I had this student that basically told me that he tested 40 different hooks for his offer because that particular hook worked. Sorry, that ad worked. And so he was testing different hooks to revive the entire ad. But then he showed me that the different hooks that he was producing, the visual was always the same. It would just change little details left and right. That's not gonna move the needle forward because you're just trying to force the same visual to work again, but it doesn't. So what we do is we don't test four variants of the same visual. We rather test four different visuals because that's gonna be the highest impact that we can have on the performance. So all the hooks are usually very different. Or what we do is maybe we test a different voiceover or a headline for the same visual. But the idea is like to be as different as possible and just put in many different things to try to find the next winner.
Got it. Makes sense. So testing screams, not whispers. It's like the
Yeah.
how the yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes
So
sense.
we have a bunch of like hooks are just the 5 cycles. So we have a bunch of different pre-rolls. So I see the ads in blocks. Like there is one block that doesn't change, which is the end. There's the middle block, let's say, that defines the type of hooks that we're gonna create for that. So let's say that if you have an ad about a specific story, why don't you have different stories to use as a block? So then you can create way more hooks for each story or each angle. Because otherwise it's limiting if you just have one video to make hooks for. So instead just create multiple videos to create endless hooks for those.
Mm.
So I think a lot of affiliates or media buyers or brands are lazy on that because they find something that works and then they just stop doing what got them to the success in the first place, which was actually script write, think about new angles and shoot those and test those. And yes, you're not gonna win always. Actually, most of the time you're gonna suck and you're not gonna see um results, but that's exactly what got you to the success in the first place. So just keep doing that.
Got it. And just to be clear for everyone, we're talking mostly here about YouTube or just in terms
In
of
general,
in general.
these are principles for anything.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, at Velvet, you always need to think uh about videos the same way.
Mm.
It's just these are principles. These are not theories. These are it's just the nature, no? Like why do you watch certain videos and not others? Because that particular thumbnail, title, and hook got you interested in the first place, and then the first minute actually made you stay. So you're not just gonna just work on the thumbnail or the title. You're gonna have to iterate the whole thing over and over again. So what interests you doesn't interest the other person, and when you run out of like a certain topic or like you burn through that audience because we talked about specific topic too much, you just need to find new angles of attack.
Mm.
So I would say this is pretty like simple but high level at the same time.
Mm.
That's exactly what we just keep doing over and over again. So it's bring it down to supplements or, like if we want to talk about a specific um, problem that is caused by diets and we want to help you fix your gut, there's so many angles here. We might have a hook about cheese and then go through different types of cheese, and that's your angle, and then lead you into a quiz VSL funnel. Cheeses are not everyone is interested into cheeses, so then we're gonna try the same thing for types of meats or other types of food. So there's like endless options, and every time you need to create hooks for that, and 1-2 minute ads that talks about that, and then go into your usual CK. So I always like to see ads as split in different blocks, and you just need to continually move blocks around and create new blocks so that you can find the next combination that is gonna work the best. So it's a lot of sides, no?
Mm.
It's a lot of like, okay, this pre-roll works quite well now. So instead of trying to work on other 1-2 minute videos, the team is gonna focus on that and create multiple hooks for that specific minute.
Got it.
And let's not get stuck on that. Let's try to retest the angle about oats or milks or this and that, or create a book for that, and just continue doing that. And that's the word. That's essentially the word. So we just keep reiterating, retesting, reshooting, rescripting, until we find the next combination. And
Very cool.
no doubts. No, not like there's never the doubt. It's like, oh, this is never gonna work again. No, we just need to find the next winning formula. So then you cut down the noise. the self-doubts, all these offers that no one wants, I'm not good anymore, the campaign is over. No, it's just a phase, and sometimes maybe you produce winning ads, but for some reason the algo god doesn't want to bless your account for that month, so you just keep going. I had those 5 years. It's not like I had peaks all the time. Actually, I had like a period of like 6 to 8 months where nothing would work. And it was due to the fact that there were a lot of policy issues on YouTube, and I'm mainly a YouTube guy. So it was a nightmare to test a lot of products. So that's part of that. But sometimes it's just how it is. So if I zoom out, I don't panic anymore because I have like 5 years of running the same stuff, and I just know that it can't always be beautiful. It'll still be there, but no reason to panic. Just keep doing the right thing.
Absolutely. It's great
I,
reminder.
what are you working on now, by the way,
Mm.
in wise?
Yeah, good question. I mean, we got a lot of things in the mix. Obviously, we're running a lot of ads for clients, and also we got really excited about. We have a tracking software that Brat, my co-founder, is working on, and it's essentially we build out tracking dashboards for most of our clients, and because that's a huge obstacle for just making sure that you're spending where you want to be spending. But what this does is, the data is clean. You own the data, but it's a chat interface. So a lot of the times, like, and this is business wide. It's not just. It's obviously includes all the ads, but talking about like, you know, full P&L and everything. So you're basically able to chat with your data, generate custom charts, whatever, just like you're having a conversation with essentially like your top media buyer, your accountant, your CFO, all in a chat type of interface. So it's really cool. Yeah,
Nice.
I'd say that's the most exciting thing. And then doing a lot of playing with a lot of AI video stuff. I wanted to ask you about that too. Just how what you see as the future for um, incorporating AI tools with what it is that you're doing. I know for us, it's a huge area of exploration. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everyone is exploring. I think like a perfect hire would be someone that knows how to make like winning ads already, but is also a phenomenal prompter.
Mm-hmm.
Stays with it because if you nail the tool, like you're gonna have so much success with AI because like I mean, actually the last winning hook that I told you a couple minutes, 10, 20 minutes ago, that we scaled to like we did 100K revenue or it's Saturday and Sunday, but last was actually on a AI generated hook.
No way. The first one ever? Is it the first one ever that's hit for
Not
you?
first one ever, but it's one of the
That's
first
a
ones.
big deal though. Dude, that's crazy.
Big.
Yeah.
This is a big
Yeah.
because I mean it's great. Like when you shoot stuff, it always like takes time. You need to buy things. You need
Yes.
to. It just takes more time. Prompting it's not like it helps you produce things, but you still need to put in quite a bit of time and become good at it. But I feel like that's the future, because you can scale up much faster and you can do amazing things. So I think I had 2 weeks ago I did a call with I mean we do coaching calls every week, like twice at
This
least.
is scalers, right? For people who don't know. This is for scalers.
So I coach my own team and then I
Yep.
coach also scalers. Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah. So anything about VSLs and affiliate, hooks creation, whatever. But yeah, I coach my team because we still run all of this stuff. So during the creative call, because the day after, I had to make a hook for affiliate takeover for the ads. So I started playing around with Flow, and Flow just came out, I think like a couple, 2, 3 weeks ago. Basically, like an extension of VU3 by Google, by Gemini. So I was playing with that. I presented it to the team. I was like, "Hey guys, look, this is what I was doing." And then one of the guys just started making hooks with it right away, and then we hit the winner.
Wow.
So he recreated a shot about I think a mixer and some food in it, but it looked pretty cool. And there was I think a butter angle or something, and he made it with VU3 and it worked. So that was great first case study. I was like, oh,
That's incredible. That's cool. 100K a day off of an AI hook.
it was 50K a day.
50. Okay, that's all. That's all. That's all. Okay.
I mean,
Mm, That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really
yeah,
cool. Well,
yeah.
so okay, so we got affiliate takeover happening in less than a month. And so where can people go to just find out about that? Where can people go to just connect with you? I know you post a lot of great stuff on Instagram, on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I know you got your coaching program and you're really helping people. You're unlocking financial freedom for people, really. You're showing them how to make money.
Yeah,
So
sure. It's really cool to see when like I get so much more excited these days when I get messages on Slack of like, yo, I just started skating, or I got my first sale to like, yo, I'm making $1,000 a day.
yeah,
Uh, well, premise, we don't work with anyone on the coaching program, so we actually like you can send me DM, send coach on Instagram. You can watch stuff for free on my YouTube channel, Alex Miko. Um, I just out here to help. So yeah, we have open slots, but we need to make sure that anyone who wants to join is actually a fit for the community. For affiliate takeover, affiliatetakeover.com, I think that's a great show to attend, because if you wanna get exposed to affiliates in this environment and get listen to all the amazing speeches that are gonna come and meet affiliate networks, ecom brands in person, I wouldn't know a better place to do that. And that's Barcelona 9th and 10th. So actually, I can drop it here. There's a you can use Alex25. It's 25% discount. So you can use that. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the show to happen. Like I told my bet, I'm gonna do what's required for me to do, but very limit. Like I want to enjoy the conference. I want to attend because I'm an affiliate. I want to make business, so I'm gonna go around the booths, listen to speeches. I'm not even giving a speech, mine, because I wanna free flow. I wanna give space to others.
yeah.
I think I've been overly present on social media for that. So I just wanna disappear and have fun with the conference.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Are you coming?
I'm not gonna be able to make it, but I know we have people from our team who are we're hoping to be able to come. So I'm excited to have hear how it goes for them. I know they're excited to attend. So
Okay. Yeah, let me know. I can wanna fix tickets for you guys.
yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Just let me know. I'll get you tickets.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, Alex, I know it, man. It's been great to pick your brain and all this stuff. You've been such a luminary in this space for so long. So it's awesome to
Thank
get to get to hear what's going on for you and hear your excitement about this event, and also that you're still in the trenches, just making stuff happen, like the new AI hooks. So that's awesome.
that was yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I'm a real guru, not a fake guru.
it's right. That's right. He's walking the walk, folks. That's right. He doesn't just drive Lambos and skydive. He also is in the trenches and in his ad accounts, and he's obsessed with making those results happen. So yeah,
Thank you.
cool. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.